Sachin was tough on his day. I remember getting Sachin out for my 450th wicket.
Have you learnt any Hindi over the years?
Obviously, shukriya, chalo, jaldi, jaldi, thanda pani. Australia, Zarur runner.
Hello everyone and welcome to midday.com. Today I'm in conversation with one of the greatest bowlers of all time, Glenn Mcgrath. Thank you so much for talking to us.
No worries, thanks for having me.
Glenn, Australia is one of the most sought after tourist destinations in the world. I have to ask you, which are your favorite places in your country?
It's hard to narrow it down to one or two. I live in Sydney now, and it's an amazing city, one of the most incredible harbours in the world, some of the best beaches in the world, so come out and have a look at that. Then Melbourne, great MCG, and just the culture and the food and the art that they have down there. Then Perth, the other side of Australia, again great beaches. You've got Rottnest Island just off with some quokkas, which are amazing little animals. Then you've got some great wine areas down the coast. Adelaide is just a big country town. It's beautiful. And then Brisbane, is amazing with the Gold Coast, with the theme parks, with the Great Barrier Reef up top of Australia. So from Great Barrier Reef to the Uluru out in the outback of Australia to Kakadu to Sydney Harbour, it's got everything. And I think for Indians coming out to experience that, but the food too, seafood, fresh food, you name it, is incredible.
And you've come to India so many times, so which have been your favorite places to visit here?
Yeah, so 1992 was the first time I came to India. Things have changed quite a bit, and my culinary taste, my palate's probably improved a fair bit since then too. So, I come out to India, spend at least 6 weeks a year here down in Chennai. So Chennai's like my second home. I spent a bit of time up in Delhi playing for the Delhi Daredevils. My family did the trip from Delhi down to Agra, to the Taj Mahal, to Jaipur, Udaipur. I love that. I love that area in there in Rajasthan. It's beautiful. So there's a lot of places I haven't seen. I love to get down to Kerala, up north, and everywhere in between. So still a fair bit of travel to do here too.
Wow, okay. So Glenn, I have to ask you, apart from cricket, what do you think binds both the countries together?
Well, obviously cricket, as you mentioned, is the most important. The passion that Indians have for the game is incredible. Australia love their sport, so there's that connection, as you said. But Australia's a very multicultural country. People from all around the world come together. Just love for life, really. So I think you look at India; it's such a diverse, cultural experience, really. Australia. Different again, but just as amazing. So the landscapes, the environment, country to me is getting out of the major city is just as important as being in the city and see what the country has to offer. And two amazing countries to me.
Coming to cricket, how do you feel as women's cricket evolved over the years?
No, I think it's going along really well. You can now see the skill level, the way they go about it, and they're now having standalone tournaments. People are coming to the game and supporting it, and that's what it's all about and what the game needs. We saw in Australia earlier this year and probably later last year where the women's had their own standalone Big Bash tournament, which was very successful. The crowds came out, the viewing audience on the broadcasters were very good, and now their own standalone World T20, which is going really well too, which is great to see. It's improved big time for them, but to me it's about keeping young children coming into the great game, or this great game of ours, not just young boys but young girls too, and I think that's a way to move forward. So fingers crossed it'll continue going that way, but it's kicking some goals.
And I have to ask you that when the bushfires happened, it was really heartening to see the way people came together, united in spirit. It was a great camaraderie between everyone. So how do you think the country is recovering right now?
I think it's recovering really well. Australia is such a big country, and the bushfires, as devastating as they were only in small parts of the country. But it goes to show the generosity of people in the country, the way they get behind and support people in need. We saw the money raised. We saw the bushfire cricket match that was played the other day. Unfortunately, I wasn't in the country, otherwise I definitely would have been playing in it, but that raised nearly $8 million. Cricketers from around the world, including Sachin Tendulkar, came out and participated in it, and to me that is incredible. The support of everyone has really lifted the country, and we're bouncing back, but there's a lot of the rest of the country is still open for business, and has always been, and really we need people to come out and experience what Australia has to offer, that generosity, that hospitality that we are as a country. I think is brilliant, and a lot of Indians have experienced it before with when India come and play and coming out with the World T20s, the two of them, the women's and the men, come out, watch a bit of the cricket at some of the best stadiums that Australia has to offer, at SCG, MCG, and then have a look around the country. And one thing I definitely recommend, you've got to have a photo with a koala or a kangaroo, but just experience what Australia has to offer, the food, the culture, the Sydney Harbour, you name it, it's brilliant.
And now we want to have this little rapid fire game with you, where we'll be asking you some questions. Which is the one thing that not many people know about Glenn Mcgrath off the field?
Family is the most important to me. I love getting out in the country. I like the freedom. I ride motorbike. I've nearly completed my helicopter license, and I love diving and free diving. So I love getting out.
Who is the toughest batsman that you bowled to?
Love the challenge of bowling to the best. Sachin was tough on his day, Brian Lara tough on his day, as was Rahul, VVS. Those guys definitely up there.
Who, according to you, is the best bowler right now?
The stats say Pat Cummins. I tend to agree with it. I love the way he goes about it. But then someone like Jasprit Bumrah, probably not too far behind. He's a very unique bowler, and I love the way he goes about it.
And who, according to you, is the best batsman right now?
Probably a toss-up between two totally different batsmen. One so technically correct and mentally strong, and then another one who is very unique in his approach, but just as effective. They both love scoring runs. I'm talking about Virat Kohli, Steve Smith. They're the two best at the moment.
One memorable moment that you had in India?
Hard to narrow it down to one. It's like a second home here. I think I've been every year since 1992, at least once or twice. I was lucky enough to play my 100th Test match here in India. I was out at Nagpur. I remember getting Sachin out for my 450th wicket. So that was a special moment on the field, off the field, bringing my family over and going out visiting the Taj Mahal was very special.
Your favourite Indian food?
I like a bit more spice these days, but it's still, your chicken tikka masala, I think, is still number one for me at the moment.
Okay, and what about the food in Chennai, like where you usually go, the South Indian food?
Yeah, a little bit more spicy down there, but when I first arrived, I couldn't handle any spice. I like a bit of spice, but not too spicy.
Have you tried the street food in Mumbai, like the pani puris?
Yeah, I've had a few pani puris quite a few years ago. I went out and did a bit of a street food tour and tried all these different things, and I really enjoyed it.
Which is your favourite travel destination?
I love going to Africa, to the West Indies, to Europe, and I definitely recommend to anyone to get out and experience a little bit of what the world has to offer. And to me, there's no better destination than coming to Australia for Indians, because it offers everything.
And do you watch Bollywood films?
I haven't seen too many lately, so I know a few actors, but unfortunately I haven't seen too many.
Which are the ones that you know about?
Actors, obviously more probably around the cricket with Preeti Zinta. Akshay Kumar was involved with the Delhi Daredevils. Shah Rukh Khan. So a few of those guys that I know, but I haven't seen too many movies. I heard Brett Lee was nearly a Bollywood movie, wasn't he?
He was.
But I haven't. I apologise. I probably couldn't name too many.
Have you learnt any Hindi over the years?
Little bits and pieces, not too much. Obviously, shukriya. When we're in the car, occasionally going chalo, jaldi, jaldi. If I'm a bit thirsty, then I've gone blank. It'll come back to me. How do you say cold water?
Pani.
Pani, Tanda pani.
Tanda pani.
Tanda pani.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm getting a bit old. The brain doesn't quite work as well anymore.
All right. And lastly, we want you to tell your fans, Australia Zarur Aana. In Hindi, it means please come to Australia.
So what was that?
Australia Zarur Aana.
Australia's Zarur Aana. Zarur Aana. Australia's Zarur Aana.
All right. Thank you so much. It's been lovely talking to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lovely talking to you too.
Subscribe to Midday India.
Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.